Hello and welcome back to the Motorhome Review channel. Today I'm at Bailey of Bristol and I'm here for the launch of their ENDEAVOUR Campervan range for the 2027 season. There are some changes, including a new layout, so let's dive in and find out what we need to know about this Ford-based campervan range. So ENDEAVOUR for 2027, there's going to be 3 layouts and we have them here. There's the B62, which we'll take a look at first, then the B65 and a new layout here on the B68. You'll also notice there's a change in the external paint colour as well. There's 2 options available for 2027. So what do we need to know? Well, first of all 3 campervans are based on the Ford Transit. They're 6 metres long and they have a gross vehicle weight of 3,500 kilos. So you can drive these on your car licence. As standard, you'll have the Ford 2-litre diesel engine, 130 horsepower and a 6-speed manual transmission. If you want automatic, you can have that as an option. I've already told you we're going to start on the B62, so let's do that. So the B62, this campervan has 2 travel seats and 2 berths. The other campervans I'll come to shortly, but they do have 4 travel seats and start at 2 berths or an optional 4. We'll do that shortly. So let's start on the B62. So as I say, 2 berths, 2 travel seats, shown here in the chrome blue finish. Now you'll notice there's no awning attached. If you want an awning, that is an optional extra and we'll see that fitted as we go along. So the blue paintwork, the Ford alloy wheels, the sliding door, the habitation door here on the near side because Bailey is a UK manufacturer, the electric step, and here we have storage for 1 6-kilo gas bottle. We'll come to that very soon when we do our internals. Let me just slide this across. So this shows us our graphic scheme for 2027. And one thing I do like on the graphics is how they have this scene embossed into the graphic. There is an LED strip light there. And as we come down, you'll see on ENDEAVOUR the tinted windows, a nice dark tint, the ENDEAVOUR badged here as well. As we come round onto the rear, so there is the rear view camera, Bailey graphic, ENDEAVOUR again, and the tinted windows at the rear. You can see these open as well for ventilation. You can fit a tow bar if you're wanting to tow, that is an optional extra. And there's also the reversing sensors as well here at the back. Let's open the rear door and take a look. So the B62, it is a lounge layout, and again, we'll see more when we go inside. So opening up, let's take a look at this rear end first of all. So you can see there's a good amount of clearance here. There's no cupboards situated at a low level. So a nice amount of space before we get to the backrests here. Obviously these do move and there is a partition here as well running along here. So you can slide items through into the campervan if you need. This one fitted with the carpets at the launch event. If I lift it up, we can see the grey wood effect flooring that's going to run through the camper. Now the cabinetry is in the light oak finish with the matte black clasps. I'll open this up and you can see our storage under the sofa bench seats. So storage here on the near side and the off side as well. That's great for putting your camping chairs, tables, your electric hookup, those sort of things that you're going to have with you. Inside on the doors, so we have this light finish, the concertina blinds for privacy. There is a fly screen as well. And then elastic bands here and on the other side as well, if you did want to put items in there. I'll close these up and then we'll next see inside as we go around. We'll just go on to the off side. So onto the off side, there's an electric hookup point on your ENDEAVOUR. Then there's the vent for the Truma heating. So on board, you are going to have the Truma diesel and electric heating. It's an air-blown system. So when you're off-grid, it's going to use the diesel in your diesel tank. When you're on electric hookup, you can switch it over and use electric or still run it off the diesel if you wish. Water filling point. The ENDEAVOURs have a 100-litre freshwater tank and a 58-litre grey waste tank. And on this model, there's our toilet cassette point. So just looking down the side, You see there's an aerial up there. You will have a solar panel as standard and a 150 amp hour lithium battery as well. Let's go round and take a look inside. So if I open our sliding door, so sliding that back, as I mentioned when we first started, there is your storage locker here for the gas, and then we're into our kitchen space. I'm going to step in. One thing I like is, yes, there's the electric step, but there's also here a handle to help you in. So in you go. Now, this is a 2-berth, 2-travel seat. So we've no front dinette area here. That gives way to a fantastic size lounge, which we're going to see shortly. So we're straight in here and we have our cab. So our seats here, they're embossed with the leather effect finish and fabric. The large Ford infotainment system, this one fitted with the automatic transmission. And then as we move up slowly, we come to the grey plastic finish. A nice sunroof here as well, that's nice space there. And then we've got our downlighters with light switch in there. And then we move back. So here we find our first storage space. Again, the light oak with the black. And we've got somewhere here to hang clothes, not long items obviously, but clothing here. And a nice feature as well, there's a mirror here and a light situated above. Then we come down to a compressor fridge and freezer. This is a Thetford appliance. If I open this up, now depending on the model, you'll either have an 84 or an 86 litre compressor. The compressor fridge and freezer runs solely off the 12-volt electrical system. So this is electric only. It won't use any of the gas on the camper van, just the electric. And then as we continue along, we'll come toward the end to the all-in-one washroom. But the clever system here, you'll notice this door, which does slide around, it gives way to this additional floor space. When you want to use your shower, you actually just lift this out and you've got the shower there, you'll see the plug hole. But as I say, we'll come to that on the way out. Next, we come into our kitchen space on the B62. Above the door, control panel for the camper van and the heating, and then down to the kitchen. On this side wall here, you'll see a plug, your lights and some shelving. Circular sink with matte black tap. And then this nice effect here on the top, a dark grey. And here we have what a lot of people will be pleased to see is the hob with the 3 gas burners. And the good thing about this system as well is when you're not using it, put this down, it's going to give you a lot more worktop space. This here is actually an additional worktop flap. It does come standard. When you don't want this, you can just fold it back down. 2 plugs here, light switches. And then as we come down, part of our Thetford appliance is the gas oven and grill. So that's a dual appliance. Under the sink, if I just open that, we have got a nice storage compartment here. A good sized shelf running all the way back. Our slide out cutlery tray here, which is nice, and it's soft close as well. A little bit of storage here. And there's also a hook, so you can add there your tea towel and bits and pieces. So that's nicely thought out. And then if I just come down here, under the oven, we've got another storage cupboard there. And that is a good size. And what I do like as well, the cupboard is opening out. It's not a simple drop down. So that's nice that it's feeding out as well. Right, let's stand up and take a look above us. So the overhead locker, we can see again the matte black. Push and pop, and that's going to unlock the cabinet for us. Storage, nice strong clasps, and here shelving as well integrated into there. Now I'm going to start moving back, but as I do, let's just head up to the ceiling. So it is the white plastic solid finish ceiling, and you'll see the LED lighting running all the way down. Bailey have listened to the Bailey owners and they've said they wanted more lighting, so that has been implemented for the 2027 season. Now coming down, let's make our way into this lounge area. Lounge campervans are really popular at the moment. The B62, so on this version, we'll see another lounge again shortly. This is going to give you 2 single beds. They're going to run down longitudinally through the campervan. The fabric for 2027, we have the grey with the grey piping effect, and we have some cushions. So this one here, it's almost a mink colour. I like this one, it's got a nice fluffy feel to it. And that then complements this second fabric cushion here. Now, you'll notice as well, just on the side here, if you are sat in the campervan, there's a little pocket where you can always just put your phone there to secure it. There's a bracket on the wall for the television. The walls, they are this darker grey and then the lighter finish. And then let's head down this side first of all. So we have overhead lockers, again, push, pop and open. So in there, shelving as well. And then we have a second one in here too. And there, the aerial feeding in that I mentioned when we were outside, that does come with the campervan. There are lighters here underneath. You'll see just under there a USB charging point as well within that. The windows on each side, they do open, concertina blind and a fly screen. And then if I feed around, a small locker here, the rear windows that we saw before, again, blind and a fly screen, another downlighter, little storage compartment there, and then 2 more lockers on this side. In terms of access to your storage underneath, you do have a place here to access, and there's also a hole in the floor here. So there is a table, you're going to take that out and that's going to pop in there, and you're going to use that for eating at when you sat in the campervan. So I'll just take a sit down in the lounge area so you can see here the benefit of the lounge, be able to relax, get your feet up and watch television. Right, let's take a look at that bathroom. So with the bathroom, clever design. The door slides around. I'm going to slide myself in here and then you can feed around and I'll show you it here. So I'll come in here, you go around there. Now these are always, they're a great idea, but they're always tricky to film. So hopefully you can see through inside. So in this corner we have a swivel toilet. It's by Thetford. It's quite a high height, you'll notice from the ground there. Then there's a little bit of storage here, here and here. And then a small cabinet here. If I just pull this up, I'm watching out for that shower curtain, you'll see in there a little bit of storage there, very strong clasps. Pull that back down. I'll talk about the shower in a second, let's just move along though. So we have a high mirror here. I must say, for someone small like me, you're probably going to be on your tiptoes for looking in there, but the mirror's there. And then coming down into the sink, matte black tap. Again, for 2027, what Bailey have done is they've listened and they've separated the sink tap to the shower. It's now not an all-in-one, it's completely separate. Matte black shower. And then under here, we've got a good size storage cabinet. And then obviously your plug holes in the base. Coming up, you can see light switches here. And then this rail that feeds round for when you're bringing that door around you. The shower curtain, there is a shower curtain, so when you're in, you'll enclose yourself and pull your shower curtain across here to stop this part becoming wet. So the shower here is going to slide across this top rail and that will protect this area from the water in the shower, and then out you get. So I'll just dive out, I'll let you have a look in there without me in there. If I pull this across a bit and you can take a look inside. So that's a clever use of space there on the Bailey B62 on the ENDEAVOUR Campervan. Okay, so that is our first campervan. Let's move along to the B65. Now the 65, again, like all of the models, is available in chrome blue or magnetic grey, and that's seen down there, which we'll come to. This camper van, 4 travel seats, 2 berths as standard, or you can have it as a 4 berth with the pop top. This one has the pop top fitted. It's not popped, it is down at the moment, but that has the pop top. It also has the optional awning, so it gives you an idea if you wanted to fit that. I think many people will. Personally, I would always be fitting the awning, and again, the LED light strip. Our electric step will go inside shortly. But let's come down. Now, because of the layout, this one does have a bed, a transverse bed. You'll see this side panelling here on the B65. That's going to give us extra width across the back where the bed is, and we'll see the benefits soon. On the rear end of the 65 is still the rear view camera, and the same as we saw on that 62. Let me open up the rear doors so we can take a look in here. So this one has the transverse bed here. That's running across the camper van head to toe. The benefit of this is you do get the large storage underneath, so this garage space. Back here on this one, there's a plug socket as well. There's a storage locker here where you're going to put your 6 kilo gas bottle. There is some storage as well under the bed, which you'll notice on that near side. The benefit of this bed system as well, because the mattresses are in segments, this will fold up as well. So if you've got a higher item, you can fold your bed back to transport those higher bits. So that can be popular for many people with outdoor equipment. Let me close that down. The offside, so again, we have our electric hookup point. We have the vent for our diesel Truma air-blown heating. Toilet cassette point because the layout's changed a little bit. The water filling point, again 100 litre fresh, 58 grey. We'll have a look at the front of the cab because we couldn't see that where it was positioned on the 62. So the 65, the model that you choose, it will be embossed here, and that's the front of the Ford cab. You'll also notice up here the sunroof. The one that's popped open, that's the one that's situated on the roof and on the pop top. But coming down, there's the sunroof that we saw before, and then the Bailey logo. Let's slide the door open and venture in. So all of the windows have the blinds and the fly screens. The front cabs on all 3 models have the blinds as well. So on this one, we can see the oak finish. I'm going to dive in again with the useful handle. So this one, because it has the 4 travel seats, and now we've got these ones turned round, you'll see we have got the dinette at the front, and that's situated here on the offside. So the seats, you'll see that leather effect finish with fabric, Bailey embossed, and I do like that the armrests are covered in the same material. This one has also got the automatic transmission fitted to it, and then coming up, the sunroof. And here you'll see access into the pop top. There is a ladder for that. So this is where you will access the pop top. And the good thing with this is a good sized wide hatch, literally from here to here. And the sunroof, when you're in your pop top, that's going to be great for ventilation as well. Right, coming through, so we have these forward facing bench seats with seat belts. This table, you can drop that down. It's not fixed. Window here, there's storage. And then your television bracket as well are fixed here on the offside. I'll now move back. Now, one of the things, because of the way this layout is, this is a slightly narrow section here to the camper. So that's something to consider if you are looking at one of the Bailey Endeavours. Look at this sort of thing here, the amount of space you've got to come through here. On the near side, into our kitchen space, the sink, the matte black tap, and you'll notice here obviously we don't have that extension going that way, but we do have a flap here as you come in the doorway, so it's nice to see that we have still got more worktop space. The benefit of this one as well is you can always use the table, which does extend as well. There's a slide out here that can be used as additional worktop space if needed. So 3 gas burners, the dual gas oven and grill. And then we have our storage again under the sink. This nice slide out cutlery tray as well with the soft close function. Close that down. The storage overhead as well. Nice divide in there. I like the finish on this as well. We've got the wood going all the way through, and also what I like is, as well as the finish, although there are just a couple of little wires there for the lighting, there's not lots of wires on show in the cupboards. So I like how that's been finished for 2027. And then coming along, if I move back, we have a grey finish here, and this is our wardrobe storage again. There's a little rail just up there, I don't know if you can see it, it's a little bit dark in there, and then storage at the lower level. That comes down, there's the mirror there, and then down here we've got 2 plugs, lots of light switches, somewhere to put your gadgets or your drinks when you're in bed, and then the Thetford compressor, fridge and freezer again as well here. The washroom I'll talk about in a minute, that's here. Back here we have that transverse bed. So this is going across the camper van. What I would say with the transverse bed is check the length across the bed. If you're a taller person, sometimes these are limited to around 5'11" in length. I don't know the Bailey measurements because I haven't got that information here at the launch event, but always check if you are a taller person. What's also nice is if we move back here, you've got your downlighters with your USB charging points. You've got this fabric finish as well on that near side, and then lots of lockers. Now, if I just open that one there and that one there, and then I'll step back and you can come through. The lockers, I must say, if you're smaller, you'll definitely have to climb on the bed to access those. You won't be able to reach up from floor level. Taller people shouldn't have too much of an issue, but plenty of storage in the rear. And then here you can access your garage, and there's also a sliding screen as well that's going to give privacy from that section if needed, and that's situated just there. Next up here, it's that bathroom again. Now this one slides a slightly different way. This one is going to slide this way. So I'll slide it this way and you can take a look in there this time. So again, reflecting what we've seen on the 62, there's the toilet, the sink with storage, and the separate matte black shower, and the sink with the tap as well, and that mirror finish in there. I do like it, I must say. I mean, the practicality is when you step in, again though, if you're a bigger person, check that these things work for you. But once you're in, I'll just demonstrate in and round. And there is a good amount of space in here as well. And one thing they'll say is using the toilet once you've swiveled it could make it nicely accessible as well. So that's the 65. 4 berths with the pop top, 2 berths without the pop top option, transverse bed across the rear, and the garage storage as a bonus. What we'll do next is we'll move on to the B68 and take a look at this new layout for 2027. So here's the new layout. This is the B68, and here we can actually see the difference in the paintwork choice. So this is the grey. So if you don't want the chrome blue, you've got the choice of the grey, and I think this is quite nice. I think many people may be drawn to this one. Grey is certainly very popular at the moment. It's still a 6-metre camper van, 3,500 kilos gross vehicle weight. This one has a rear lounge again. You can have this in the 2 berth or the 4 berth with the optional pop top. It's shown here with the optional 2-lay awning, and again I think that dark grey finish on the 2-lay goes really well with this paintwork, so that would potentially be my choice. Let me just slide this door back and then we can see the graphics for the season as well and how they work with the paint. The windows again in this tinted finish, and those dark alloy wheels as well. The difference on this one, you'll see that the electric hookup point is now here on our near side. Let's head round. So again, this one has the 150 amp hour lithium battery and the diesel and electric heating. Fitted here with the optional tow bar, so if you are wanting to tow, you can do that. And then the back here with our Endeavour and our rear view camera. I'll open these doors up for us as well so we can take a look. So if I open this offside door, and I'll just be careful on the near side because we have got the caravan situated there. I don't want to put a ding in it at the Bailey launch. So as you look in here, so this is a lounge layout. You'll notice different to the 62, This one here has the one-piece cushion on the back. And then if I pop this open as well, we'll see in here our 6 kilo bottle gas storage locker. And then I'll close that up before we venture off down the off side. So I'll drop that down there, and then again you can see a little bit of access underneath. So let's go down our off side. So here the vent for the Truma air blown, our toilet cassette and the water filling point. Again, 100 litre fresh and 58 grey. And then coming round the front as well, we can see the B68 front end. If you look up again, you can see that sunroof. It's nicely integrated into the front there. And then the Bailey logo. Again, if you were opting for the pop top, you would see it at the higher rise that we saw where it being fitted as an option before. Let's slide the door open. So opening this one up, let's go take a look at the new layout on 68. This handle's certainly helpful, I like that. Now in we go. So here this has a different fabric finish on it, a different colour scheme. And you see as well, this is almost a suede effect as opposed to a fabric, and then the leather effect finish as well. Coming down, because it has 4 travel seats, we see the dining area, the dinette. Now because this one has this, the lounge is shorter at the back compared to the B62. So if you want the longer lounge, it's going to be the B62. If you need the 4 travel seats and you want a lounge, it's going to be the 68. But you can see the finish here. Again, we have overhead locker. There's a television point back there, so you'll be able to fix your bracket there. And the nice thing is as well, in the front cab, there's a reasonable amount of headroom here, and as it comes down, because of the sunroof, it doesn't feel claustrophobic at all. I do like that finish there. Now we're going to head off into the kitchen space. Very different. You'll see our fridge and freezer is situated here, and it's the slide out version. So again, something different altogether compared to the other models. And then as I make my way down, I'm going to venture through into the kitchen. Now again, a slightly narrower point here, although it doesn't feel quite as much as a pinch as it did on the 65. Whether that is actually the case or not, without measuring, I don't know, but it does feel there's more room here. Worktop space. This has got a good amount of worktop space. Again, if a larger kitchen's important to you, this could be one to consider. Worktop space here, worktop space back here, and you can utilise that table as well. Overhead locker, if I just open this one up, and I'll open this one. Now this one is a mixture of kitchen use and then feeding into the lounge. So again, if you are the sort of person where kitchen space is important, you're going to get more of it here. So do consider that on the B68. And a sunroof above overhead as well. Now coming down, there's just a couple of hooks here. There's nothing further there because that's where our fridge and freezer was. And then I'll just straighten these little knobs, look, because I've got OCD and I just need them all up there. And then coming along, we have our 3 gas burners and then the dual gas oven and grill. Underneath, we've got that same storage compartment that we saw. And next to the lounge, we've got a good sized storage cabinet here. Again, I do like that. Plenty of room in there for those larger items. It may even be that you could put an additional shelf in there and split that. That's something personally I'd be wanting to see. There's 2 plugs here as well, so you can have your coffee machine and kettle there. Just be careful that obviously you don't splash anything onto your fabric. Then we move back into our lounge. So as I said, this one is shorter and smaller than the B62, but that gives us that front area instead. This will convert into a double bed. These are not very short singles, unless you really are small, a bit like me. But otherwise, you're not going to be sleeping as singles here. This is going to convert into a double bed. The fabric, this is really nice. I'm rubbing it, which is a good sign. So it's got this suede finish, the grey piping, and then this sort of more Aztec-y finish at the back. I'm sure you'll give it your own names, but those would be mine. And then our cushions here as well in the different finish, and this fluffy one in a very dark grey as well. So they're really nice. So the backrest running along. So again, you can get sat back here and you've got another television point. So you've got a TV bracket there. You'll be able to put the full bracket on, television point under the cabinet, and then this nice lighting as well. The windows again with the concertina blinds and the fly screens. And I'll just bob this down as well. You can access under there somewhere to store your camping tables, chairs. When I say camping chairs and tables, I do mean the ones that fold away, they bag up. I don't mean a big Isabella chair. You've got to be realistic with a camper van about the equipment you're taking. So proper camping chairs that you can fold down and store. Above me, there's lockers again all around. If I just pop these open, you have access there and there. You've also got these spotlights or downlighters, and within these you have the USB charging points. I think for me, because USB charging points are quite important to me, they might not be to everyone, I'd have just liked to have seen a couple more USB charging points dotted about, maybe here with the plug sockets or somewhere on the wall that was a little bit more accessible than just up in the lights, but that could be a personal thing. Again, locker here, a sunroof for a little bit of ventilation in the lounge on those warmer days. Those back windows do open, and then the storage coming down there. So it's got a nice feel to it back here, and then it feeds in again to our washroom. So this one again is going to slide in this direction like the B65, and it's going to reveal that all-in-one washroom. So I'll slide that as you venture in there. So again, we've got our storage in the cupboard, the sink with the matte black tap, the swivel toilet, our mirror, the cabinet, plenty of storage in there, and again the rail for the shower curtain to slide across. So that's the new layout for 2027, the B68. Rear lounge, 2 berths or 4 with the optional pop top. The benefit of this layout, I think really for people, is that you're going to get this larger kitchen space, and you still have your 4 travel seats and somewhere to sit and use as a dining room as well. So right, let me dive out. So that has been our first look at the Bailey Endeavour B62, B65, B68 for the 2027 season. I'm going to put a link in the description to the Bailey website, so you'll be able to see all the new Endeavours for the season, all the specifications, the full bed sizes, and most importantly, the prices, because I don't know what those are yet, but on the website you'll be able to see what the current prices are at 2026 levels if they haven't yet been updated, and that will give you some idea. Hopefully you've enjoyed having a first look at these 3.5 tonne camper vans based on Ford. I certainly have. Let me know in the comments, what do you think? If you've got an Endeavour, are these improvements what you were hoping for yourself? So as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.